How's it going, Fish fam? Welcome back to a brand new video. If this is your first time checking out the channel, what's up? My name is Gabe. You can also find me at SpartnFish pretty much everywhere on the internet. So if you watched my last Frieren video, I pretty much ended by saying I think I'm gonna go and watch another episode of Frieren. We're back. An hour-ish since then. Had to make some dinner and do some domestic type stuff, but I'm back here for some more Frieren. Potentially our overarching quest for the foreseeable future introduced to us. We also found out that, of course, Frieren's master is the greatest, most legendary wizard of all time who died like 1,000 years ago. Fern was like, well, she couldn't possibly know her. That was over 1,000 years ago. Meanwhile, Frieren is like, yeah, I am that bitch. My birthday is BCE. Put me into like a really interesting mental headspace. It gave me a lot to think about as far as like how these characters are growing, and like, I mean, obviously Frieren more so than anyone else, like how she's growing as a person and where she started out compared to like where she is now. It's, unless you join the channel memberships, in which case, you're getting this video earlier than everyone else, so. But for most people, it's probably been a week since they watched that last episode of Frieren. For me, it's been, like an hour. I'm just still thinking about the fact that such, like, from the outside looking in, like a relatively simple story, the standard, alright, we're a wizard with an apprentice and I'm OP and we're gonna go adventuring. The way they present it and the different types of details that they decide to include and decide to focus on, even like the effect of like time on everyone else compared to Frieren, and like how she thinks about time, us sort of living in that perspective of hers versus the perspective of everyone else, layers of emotion that they're able to sort of reference back to throughout the show. Man, I can already tell. I'm only, 4, soon to be 5 episodes into the show, and I can definitely see why it was so highly regarded in terms of like, being nominated for awards. I think it's one of the animes listed for Crunchyroll's like top anime of the year. We're gonna have plenty of opportunities to yap. So if you're interested in watching more Frieren, if you're interested in One Piece, My Hero Vigilantes, movies, music, manga, if you're interested in any of that, make sure you stick around, hit the subscription button. I also stream every Monday on Twitch. We do a bunch of live reactions there. That's also where I get caught up on manga. So if you're interested in following any of that journey, you can join me there as well. But with all that said, let's just get into it.
Frieren, 俺オールを探してヒンメルと話すんだ.
Right, that's where we left off. Our goal is now to get to heaven, which apparently exists, and it is underneath the demon's castle, which is, I imagine, clearly something that he did intentionally. She's like, fuck, there goes another 10 years of my life, damn it. Wow. Wow. I mean, I know we already talked about this flashback in the last episode, but of course he remembers that as well. And I even talked about like this specific flashback during the last episode where I was like, man, being one of her friends and hearing her like say that, because for them it's probably one of the most meaningful experience, it's the most meaningful experience of their life, and she's one of the most meaningful, yeah, they're like one of the most meaningful relationships any of them ever had, for sure. And to hear her kind of like trivialize it to a certain extent probably, fucked them up. something that you thought was so trivial actually had a really big impact.
これからもっと多くなるよ。
I just wonder, like, at a certain point, like, how much... it's obvious that she has, like, some level of regret from, like, the choices that she made and not caring enough about, like, the relationships she had in the past. But I wonder if she ever, like, openly is willing to express those feelings of, like, remorse to a... like... I don't even know if remorse is the right way of phrasing it, but just regret in general about she acted towards those people who are closest to her, you know? Oh, okay. We're getting the title card at the beginning. I'll haunt you, yeah. So when they do the title card, it's usually when they start to, like, bring the flashback into, like, the current situation and tie it back in. So I wonder why they're doing the title card so early then. Like, how does this flashback tie into what's going on right now? Because that's usually the, like, typical Frieren formula to a certain degree, you know? So they didn't do any major time skips then in between us leaving Isen to right now. It's still only 28 years.
魔物でも出たの？幽霊どもに連れ去られたって話さ。
Ah! So that's how the flashback relates to our current situation then. It's Hater. He's haunting them. He said, fuck off. I don't want to talk about ghosts.
死んだ身内や知り合いの幽霊が目撃されていて、どれも生前の姿のまま。
So we're literally going to see Hater's ghost then this episode, probably. Okay.
でも今回は生前の姿のままだった。死体ならそうは見えない。これは全く別の系統の魔物の仕業だね。心当たりがありそうですね。
Unlike you, I'm a good girl.
ここが最近村人が消えた場所だね。
Where are their staffs? Can they just, like, magic them away and then, like, magic make them appear?
アインザーム。その種の魔物の中でも狡猾で貪欲で人しか捕食しない変色家。
I mean, people are missing, so it very clearly has to work. If it didn't work, there wouldn't be missing people. Yeah, you say that now. What? What the fuck do you mean by that? What do you mean you were used to hearing her beg for her? Yeah, what? You can't just say some shit like that. That's some ominous dialogue. Ah, okay. Yeah. Are you sure you can do it now? Now that you're actually like... Yeah, are you sure you can do it now? What about you? Yeah. Yeah! God, bro has no control at all. Damn, she was really able to flip that. Oh! Dragons just like stealing shit. I like the fact that it's not even sleeping in the nest, it's just sleeping like near it. It's just a pile of shit that it keeps nearby. Yeah. Not a goddamn thing. Bro said, damn, someone left a window open. Damn. He said, is there a draft? Holy shit. Frieren just left her ass. She's like, alright, I'm out. I'll see you later.
もう無理そうだ。死ぬかと思いました。
Frieren just left her. She said, alright, I'm out.
峡谷沿いにある村にシュタルクという戦士がいる。北側諸国に入るついでに。
Okay, I was gonna say, is this back like oh, it's Aizen's apprentice. Okay, we're gonna meet Aizen's apprentice. He has to be strong as hell.
書にはどのような魔法が記されているのですか?
Bro, it's like cooking magic or something. Yeah, you little freak.
竜を前にしても一歩も引かず、長い睨み合いの末に竜は去って行きました。それ以来
How fucking strong is this dude? Just his aura of him being here is enough to keep a dragon away? The dragon's like, yeah, I don't want the fucking smoke. I'm not going back there. What? I'm never going back to that town again. I do not want to fight Stark.
あまり刺激されると困るんだ。村に危険が及ぶ。竜ってのはお前らが思っている以上に恐ろしい存在。ばあちゃん、外してくれ。
Damn. Yeah, of course Aizen would have like said something at some point about Frieren. Of course. No, we want you to be our frontline tank. That's bro, you have to understand, for like any regular person, that's not enough of a reason. You can't just say no reason. It's just I would like to have it, please. That's why she keeps doing it, because Himmel liked it. Bro, like your whole life is dedicated to this. Bro, he's so uninterested. Yeah! Is that why you left? Brother, are you joking? Are you He's fucking King from One Punch Man. He is just King from One Punch Man. I just keep finding myself in these situations and everyone thinks I'm a hero. He cut that rock in half, didn't he? He cut the rock in half. Why wouldn't he? It's fucking free, isn't it? Yeah. Of course he likes your cooking. It's free, dude. Damn. She's cutting that shit like butter with a dull-ass knife. That's gotta be some good cooking. Yeah. Yeah. Of course. He's strong as fuck. He's just a little baby. He's someone's baby boy. Bruh! Yeah, he's a demon with that axe. Yeah. Bro literally cut a rock in. He's cutting a mountain in half. Yeah. Frieren instantly knew too. The second she saw it, she was like, damn, he's raw. This one was definitely a lot less, like, emotionally dense. You know what I mean? The previous episode, I know we didn't really do a whole lot last episode. I mean, to be fair, we didn't really do a lot this episode either. But the previous episode was like really, really emotionally dense. I don't know. It could just be like me personally, or maybe like because I related so heavily to a lot of the themes from that last episode, but it was a lot for sure. And I feel like this was a good way for them to like introduce us to a new character and get to kind of understand their perspectives and where they're coming from. I'm definitely interested to like learn a bit more about his character, and it is interesting that obviously the show started out with Frieren being a part of a party that had just finished this journey she's going on now. It's, you know, she's going through the same cycle and she's like meeting these same types of characters who are basically more or less like descendants of the people that she was associated with in the past, potentially joining our party. I assume he's going to. And he's, you know, directly taught by Aizen, and is because he viewed him as being like similar to himself in terms of before he started going down this path and before he started to make himself stronger, he was also, you know, a weak, scared little kid, basically. I'm assuming he wasn't actually a little kid the same way Stark might have been, but, you know, within that same vein, like, they're both kind of in the same boat emotionally, and now from, like, a perspective of what they bring to the table in terms of working with Frieren, they're, like, filling some of the same roles, basically, it's just interesting how it's like a cycle and history just like repeating itself again. The more I learn about this show, the more I learn about like this setting and these characters and the world building, the more I come to like appreciate the overarching story, and the more I start to like relate on a human level, like on a one-to-one level with a lot of the characters, Frieren included, even though she is someone who is so outwardly seeming emotionally detached and kind of tries to separate herself as much as possible. Anyways, yeah, let me know what you guys thought. Like I said at the beginning, if you're interested in more Frieren, if you're interested in One Piece, My Hero, any of the other shows I've watched here, movies, music, manga, make sure you're subscribed. Yeah, I'll see you guys on the next one.